All right, let's do another one. I can already see improvement in your race confidence just in one turn from beginning of last week to this week. I can already see a more confident driver, more self-belief coming to you from race experience. You know what it is I can see there as well? Turn one, your break point has to be completely different to any other point in the race. And it's something that can only be taught with experience. And if you keep your eyes open, there's a lot of people in your races who will mess up turn one, lap one, right at the start. And it can only be taught with experience. So yeah, it's interesting that you are getting good turn one this early in the week. What I'm looking at there is that you don't suddenly go to 100, you don't brake so late that you suddenly go to 100% brake. You brake nice and early because you're not sure where to brake, right? So what you've done is you've braked nice and early and you haven't even gone up to 100%. You're just dragging the brake. There we go. You're braking because you don't really know where to brake. So you're just braking and you're just modulating that brake to make sure that you stay close to the cars in front. That's very high level experience there. And I'm seeing experience pay off for you very quickly. It normally takes people a lot more races to start gathering this kind of experience. So yeah, it's really good. Let's carry on. Damn, nice line, man. Seriously. Look how you've got more rotation than those guys. Yeah, I went a little bit deep. Really well recovered. Because when at the moment that you've gone deep, so again, it's the concertina effect of all the cars. You don't really know where to brake in the concertina effect. With this slipstream, you're all driving so close, you've got to brake at a different point every lap. So you're literally sort of guessing where to brake and then modulating the brake to compensate for whether you've braked too late or too early. That is what we're all having to do here. And it's a skill that lower rank drivers haven't mastered. They still think in a race they need to hit the brake 100% at their marker, not adjust it. So you get it a little bit wrong. You go a little bit deep. And at this point here, a lot of people would spin because having gone deep, they feel that they're slowing down too much. They might get gapped. So they panic and get on the throttle and the car spins because they've got too much steering lock in. But you're very patient. You're very patient. You get the car rotated and then you feed the throttle in. Just a little bit deep there. So nice line in. At this point, you're taking a better chicane than anyone in front of you, but you're actually on the throttle there. Was that gear shift? No, that's a gear shift. Ignore me. All you needed to do was just stay on the brake a little bit longer so that you're here. Slow the car down more so you're here, and then you can be more aggressive on the throttle. That's why they pull away from you. Your entry was better than them, but your exit was worse. What is this? Is not even the start at the end. This only works on the last lap. This only works on the last lap. I got to see what happens. Oh my days. Okay, you got a position for free. Excuse me. Oh dear. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Look at the way you get off the brake and rotate the car and then get on the throttle. This is... You're improving, Mario, and this wasn't happening for you when you weren't racing so much. Now that you've taken the bull by the horns and are saying, I'm going to race no matter what, this is what begins to happen. Trail braking in. Getting on the curb. Let go of the brake. You got a nice line, but you've got to be really patient here because this line requires a lot of steering input. And that's exactly what you do. You let it rotate. You let it rotate. You're patient. You're patient. Look at this. Look at this patient coasting. This is car sympathy right here. This is sympathy with the physics. Letting it rotate, then you go on the throttle. You start in second, and then you short shift third. It's beautiful. And then you're straight. This is how you want to drive these cars, okay? You are straight to 75% throttle. There is no playing about with 20% or 50%. Straight to 75. And then you just let the car finish rotating. And then you go to 100%. I like what I'm seeing. I really do. You can brake a little later going into this turn. Not this one, sorry. This one. I don't know if this is something you're doing in time trial. The way you're braking into this turn right now is the right way to do it if you are closer to P3. If you're like really close to him, within car length and a half maybe, but you're a lot further away from him. Just let that depth perception sink in there for a moment. So you can attack this corner like it's qualifying. In that sense, you need to hit 100% brake pressure. So watch your brake input. So you do hit 100%, but it's not for very long. And you immediately start trailing off because 100% has slowed you down too much. So it's instant 100%, and then you start trail braking too early, which is not how you would do it in qualifying. The proof that you've slowed the car down too much is this. This is over rotation. So this is you physically, it's subconscious. Remember, bad habits reside in the subconscious brain. So we have to make them conscious to fix them, and then they can make their way back to the subconscious as good habits. The subconscious brain has told you that you've slowed the car down enough to make the turn. The car feels ready for the turn. So you want to do the turn, but you haven't got to the turn yet. So this is how you adjust a brake point for your skill level. If you're going deep into the corner and missing the apex by a mile and understeering, then you need to brake earlier. This is the opposite. If you're over rotating, You're using too much track on the inside. You're climbing over the curb rather than round the curb. Using too much track, basically. You want to turn into the corner before you've even got to the corner. This is proof that you need to brake later. So learn to read that difference. Understeer, brake earlier. Over rotation, brake later. What you could have done here was, rather than braking there, brake here and smash that brake pedal to 100%. Hold that brake pedal to 100% to about here, and then start trail braking with the correct line. And what would have happened is that you actually, rather than, well, let's see what happens, because you can't get on the throttle when you're on the grass. Right, now what happens is they're basically pulling away. If you had nailed that corner, you would have caught up with them. You'd be in the slipstream, because actually you were doing a really good job. This all started, remember, here. This is where that bad turn starts, which is a strange psychological thing if you think about it. We're nowhere near that turn. So you start, it starts with you making a mistake here. One mistake always leads to another mistake. The ability to stop that cycle, the ability to prevent one mistake becoming another mistake, is what creates race results and race consistency at your given pace, your given DR. So back here, you're nice and close. You make a mistake here where you run too wide and it means you can't get on the throttle. And that means they gap you. They're now pulling away. But you do a really good job of catching up. So you do a good job in this corner. You've caught up a bit. That corner's okay. It's not great. It's okay. It's decent. You're there. You're there. You're in the slipstream. You're in the slipstream. You're just not fully in it. All you need to do now is 2 really good corners. So you get 1 and you're almost there. Now all you've got to do is nail this corner and you're in the slip. But you make a mistake and they pull away even more. And now you're where you don't want to be. You're the lead car in a second pack. And that means you're generally a sitting duck. But, okay. So it's exactly as we said before at Autopolis. It's these tiny little race mistakes that need to be tidied up, and they completely transform your overall race. Nice chicane. Okay, we've got a bit of over rotation going on there again. Yeah, you got on the grass again. You had to be really careful on the throttle because you got on the grass. Same problem again. It's over rotating. You can just brake 1 car length later. I'm guessing you're getting bump drafted. Cool. So this... no, that can't be... I have a student that's called Ricky Bobby, but he's on a German account, so I don't think this is the same... I don't think it's the same guy. Ah, okay, let's see what happened there. Right, straight away, you get bump drafted very late. Now, it's not too late, it's workable, okay? So you get bump drafted just as you go over the start-finish straight. It's very, very close to the braking point, so you've got to brake earlier. Yeah, braking too late, for sure. You're already braking where you would be in qualifying, but you're going 8 miles an hour faster. And you've got worn tyres or wearing tyres, and you've got fuel on board, which you don't have in qualifying. Now, I say you do a mighty fine job of getting this slowed down and rotated. You really do. You keep the steering nice and straight. You keep the steering nice and straight so that you can mash that brake pedal, which you're doing. You don't get suckered into trail braking too early because you know you can't afford to. So you're hard on the brake and then you trail brake as late as you can. And you're trying to get it rotated. A little bit too early on the throttle. Just needed to let it coast for a little bit longer. Damn fine situational awareness from both drivers. But again, the whole thing could be avoided because you get bump draft there. Brake here. That's all you got to do. That's it. And then because they're starting to battle, or they're not. Yeah, it looks like they're battling, doesn't it? You'll catch up. You will close. You'll decrease the gap between them. So again, this can't be taught. This only comes with race experience. And the more you race, the more you recognize this situation in the heat of the moment. Anytime you are bump drafted, brake earlier. The more you are bump drafted, the earlier you have to brake. I would friend request this guy. If you didn't, I would send him a message after the race because let's face it, the majority of drivers the majority of drivers at this level would have taken you out. Not necessarily deliberately. They just don't adjust what they're doing for another car in front. They can drive one line and one line only. And if something's in their way, they just drive through it because they don't know how to adjust their imports. And they secondly refuse to do so because they think it loses time. This guy's bump drafted you for a couple of laps and he's shown you massive respect here when you've come back on track. It's not the best track re-entry from your point of view, by the way. Could be better. I would have been looking to get out the throttle and come on at this angle to give him a bit more room and then try and fall in behind him because I've got dirty tyres. You've got no one else behind you. So I'd be looking to yield to this guy and then try and work with him. As it is, it's okay. It works. He's definitely someone that could be a friend and an ally. All right, we are finally catching up, partly because they're battling and partly because you put in some really good corners there. Okay, this guy's smart. This guy is smart because he could have bump drafted you, but it would have been so late, and he chooses not to. So really good situational decision making there from this guy. Right. Good. I'm glad to see you didn't defend this. This is intelligent as well. A lot of people at A rank would see the guy in front get a penalty, and they would be trying to go round them already, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to actually get past them before the penalty line. So this is really smart, intelligent play for your own race now, is you bump drafting Ricky. Another one. Right. Nice to see that you took a respectable finish line. Well done. So, yeah, what can I say? I think you said this was your first race of the week, wasn't it? So I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Keep racing over the course of the week, and by the time Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes around, like seriously, you're going to be so much better in your consistency and your confidence, just like you were last week at Autopolis. So yeah, really good race. Well done.